Early April is always a fun time to check out the arriving waterfowl. Wood ducks can be seen pairing up everywhere. Apparently, the female's white teardrop eye ring signals age and reproductive potential, with older hens with reduced fertility having larger eye patches. If you like baby wood ducks, you're in luck because they're the only North American waterfowl that regularly raises 2 broods a year. Here comes the short-eared owl flying in for its nightly hunt. There have been a group hanging out in St. Michael the last few weeks. Every night that isn't windy, one will hunt a wetland near a new housing development for the last half an hour before dark. I put great effort into getting a short-eared photo that is close and sharp and light enough, but it has proved to be challenging. I need to shoot at about 1/1000th of a second or faster to freeze the wings, but that requires a high ISO because it's usually right at dusk. He always seems to know which end of the wetland I've set up on and chooses to hunt the other end. One cold morning, we set out to check out the waterfall on Pelican Lake. We were excited to see a flock of greater white-fronted geese. They are pretty skittish, as you will soon see, so we got these pictures from the truck. They are called greater because there is a similar-looking, lesser variety found in Europe and Asia. It seems that all geese have a more diminutive cousin species, such as the cackling goose and Ross's goose. These birds can only be seen in southern and western Minnesota as they pass through in migration on their way to the Arctic. When Lucas and I tried to sneak up on them, they flew before we even got close to the water. Next, we decided to get in our canoe to take pictures of the many waterfowl on the lake. Since geese are nesting on the lake, they go into full alarm call mode if you get even close, and that tends to scare away all the ducks. I had been wanting a photo of a redhead, but we only seen them from a distance. We were able to get some good flight shots of bufflehead and also observed the many pelicans who nest in this lake, busy riding a thermal. They all move counterclockwise together in formation, like they are following choreography. I never noticed the bright green patch on the bottom of the blue-winged teal's wings before these flight shots. One reason to take pictures is to see what you are missing. Our eyes only see about 25 frames per second, so when you capture what is happening in a 25th hundredth of a second, it will certainly reveal something your brain would have missed. Mid-April also means that great horned owl babies are branching out of the nest, or they have made it to the ground like this guy. Unfortunately, this guy wandered into someone's yard and was sitting on their woodpile. Mother was watching disapprovingly with her huge talons. Usually the parent owl likes the babies to stay completely hidden for the first few weeks on the ground so they can continue bringing them food until they can fly on their own. Every time I got close with my camera, he would lean forward like he was expecting food. These owls must have not hatched in the tree cavity that I thought they were in because we found them too far away to have walked. Sometimes the DNR will have someone relocate an owlet if it gets down from a nest too early or wanders into an unsafe area. They can even place rescued owls into known nests of other pairs, and they will continue to be fed. We moved on after a few quick photos. Besides wood ducks and owls, this episode also features mergansers. But first, we will talk about a photo challenge with red-winged blackbirds. On April mornings, when it's about 20 degrees, it's fun to try and capture a picture of the male red-winged blackbirds calling because you can often see their breath. After a few mornings of failed attempts, Lucas was finally able to accomplish this by bringing the camera to school and taking pictures at our school pond while I was in a staff meeting. Some tricks we learned is to make sure you can see your own breath well. Again, about 20 degrees or colder with some humidity. Make sure the bird is backlit. We could never see it when it was frontlit. Make sure the sky is not the background. Cattails or a building work good. These males arrive early to mark their territory, and puffing out their red shoulder pads and making their classic call is how they defend it. When the females arrive, they will want to nest in the best areas, and the male's been working hard to secure the best patch of cattails. Also near the high school is a pond full of red-breasted mergansers. This diver actually prefers saltwater, but you can find flocks of them in Minnesota during migration. They are similar to the common merganser, but as you would imagine, they have a red breast. More about them soon, but back to the short ear hunting. The internet says they will hunt at dawn and dusk, but I have never seen one in the morning. I also never see one hunting in more than a 5-mile-an-hour wind. As this guy worked the grass many times, he looked like he was going to come right over to us. But when he would get within 100 yards, he would turn away. Anytime he flew over us, he would get over 100 yards above us. With a 400mm lens and low light, you need to be within 50 yards. This is simply a matter of being at the right place at the right time. Sometimes they sit on the ground, but when they are hunting, they cover a lot of area. One night, I got a text that a short ear was sitting on the ground in a burnt area of wetland near Pelican Lake. He was still there when I arrived, but he was pretty far away. I decided to leave once it got too dark. The next day, I got a text that he had landed right alongside the road and people were able to get amazing pictures of him sitting on a burned log. Photography is supposed to be challenging. A photo increases its value if it is tough to get. Like trying to capture the ruby crown of the ruby crown kinglet or the golden crown of the golden crown kinglet. Just getting the bird is tough because they are tiny and fast and move frequently, but they rarely show their crown. We finally got some decent looks at the redhead duck. During courtship, the male performs a gymnastic head throw, snapping its neck forward and giving a loud meow call. In the winter, you can find these ducks in the Gulf of Mexico in a group of 60,000. The best place to look for them is the Laguna Madre Bay of Texas. Many lakes around Minneapolis are full of diving ducks right now, but they usually only have a few redheads. We were actually looking for the Bonaparte skull, which is a seagull with the black head. When we didn't find it, we decided to check the nearby Woodlake Nature Center. Chickadees nest in natural tree cavities, especially those found in soft, rotted wood. I watched this little guy do some excavating of a hole in a tree stump. Chickadees do nest in stumps, so that is what this guy was working on. I took these close-up pictures of the red-winged blackbird just to prove to myself that the wings are red and not orange. The yellow below them makes them seem orange. California has a similar-looking blackbird with white instead of yellow bars called the tricolored blackbird. These painted turtles wake up from brumation, I guess that's what hibernation is called for reptiles, in early April when the water temperature reaches 68 degrees Fahrenheit. They need to bask in the sun to regulate their body temperature. And for some reason, they all like the same log. Sometimes they even climb on each other. I have a picture from this same weekend last year of several turtles all on the same log. Next, we captured an older hen wood duck putting up with some courting antics from a drake. Wood ducks will preen each other, but this guy was a little overexcited. This hooded merganser arches his back and points his bill in the air to show off for the female. You will see red-breasted mergansers really get into this behavior as well. We were alerted that there was a young great horned owl branching out from the nest, accompanied by a parent. They start venturing out at about 6 weeks and can fly at 9, so you have about a 3-week window in mid-April to see baby great horned owls. A parent is always nearby. Now we've seen 2. They can control their ear tufts. Here you can see they are folded down. I think they do this for communication. Next, we hit up a lake with over 100 red-breasted mergansers. But first, I was distracted by a few more redheads. Sometimes these mergansers are called sawbills because they have a thin, serrated bill that helps them hold on to slippery fish. They have to dive about 300 times a day to catch the 20 fish they need for survival. Another diver, often mixed in with coots, is the lesser scaup. The female is brown with white around the bill. The males have a more peaked head than the greater scaup and are referred to as bluebills. Horned grebes can only be seen during migration. They are smaller divers. Like the other grebes, they regularly eat their own feathers. These serve as a plug in their stomach to help hold fish bones until they can be digested. While I'm sure red-breasted mergansers are not good to eat, they are fun to watch. During courtship, the males swim circles around the females, arching their neck to point their butt and bill to the sky. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time for the rest of April birding.